Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we're going to talk about these Book of the Month books and whether or not they were worth purchasing. We're going to go through them one by one with a rating system and see what I thought of each of them and whether or not I feel like my subscription continues to be worth it for a Book of the Month. So let me turn the camera around and we will talk in a minute. Hello, and again, welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and go beyond. I told you a little bit about what we're going to talk about now. My name is Renee. I'm your host, co-host Raina. She's going to be having some taco snacks during our discussion. And we're going to take a look at those books of the month and just go through them one by one and see what was worth it and what wasn't. And is my subscription worth it? Should I continue to pay for Book of the Month? I've been with them now for a year and a half, so I feel like I have a really good basis of books to make a decision with. Book of the Month, in case you're not aware, costs a little over $18 a month. And for that, you get 1 credit. With that 1 credit, you can purchase either an audiobook or a hardcover book every month from their choices. If you are not interested in any of those choices, you can make substitutions within a certain reason. They will show you the books that they are willing to substitute for you. Some are what they call member picks, so they were really popular with members. Some were a former Book of the Year or those kinds of things. So, there are plenty of choices, and it looks like, according to what I have on the floor here, I made a choice pretty much every single month. I think there was only 1 month that I was in Book of the Month where I skipped and I just let my credit ride into the next month, which is fine. You don't have to pay another $18. You can just let your credit ride. I think you can let up to 3 credits go by. So, that gives you a little bit of flexibility with Book of the Month. Now, there's also add-ons. If you do purchase a choice from Book of the Month, you are also entitled to purchase an add-on, and the add-ons are only $12, which is pretty reasonable for what you'll get, which is a new hardcover book. So let's take a look, see how I'd rank all of these books and what I've purchased over this past year and a half, and we'll see what we think. First, starting in November of 2023, which is when I started with the club, I got this Again and Again by Jonathan Evison. And I'm going to put this in the no-go pile. Not really one that I would read again, nor would recommend to anyone else. What I'm going to do is make 3 piles here. So we're going to have, such as I just said, ones I wouldn't recommend to anyone else. We're going to have the ones that are the highest ranks, which would be the ones that I gave 4 and 5 stars to. And then we're going to have some that I gave probably in the vicinity of 3 to 4 stars to. So let's see what we get. Next is No One Can Know. This was December of 2023, and this is by Kate Alice Marshall. I would put this solidly in the 4 to 5 category. This was a good book, and I would recommend it to other people for sure, especially those that like thrillers. I ended up, based on that, reading another Kate Alice Marshall that I enjoyed as well. Next, January of 2024, I got Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austin. This I would put in the probably 3 to 4 category. So that would be right in the middle. So we've got 1 in each category so far. Now, let me just say one more thing. These books that I'm going to show you are all those that were in the Book of the Month choices. I did not go into the alternative choices for any of these that I'm going to talk about first. And there are 13 of those. I did count them previously. So next was a book that I really enjoyed. I'm using a paper to substitute for it because I've lent it to so many people. Honestly, I think half of this condo association has read The Women by Kristen Hanna on my recommendation. And I think they even discussed it in a book club one time not too long ago. So The Women is going to go solidly in the 4 to 5 category. Next, I must have done a substitution in between here because this one is from May of 2024. So I did a few substitutes maybe for a couple of months, and we'll talk about my substitutes in a little bit. But in May of 2024, I got Middle Tide by Sarah Crouch. Sorry, but this is going to have to go in the no-go pile. That's one that I wouldn't recommend to any other people. And yeah, just not a very interesting book. Next, we go to June of 2024, and that choice was The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I know other people that have read this and enjoyed it as well. So this is, again, going to go solidly into the 4 to 5 category. Next, we go to July of 2024, House of Glass by Sarah Buchanan. This was a good book, but I wouldn't put it in my 4 to 5s. I think it's a solid 3 to 4 for sure. Now, next we have a pretty big jump because we go all the way to December of 2024. So again, I must have had a few substitutes in there and some skips, which is fine. So this is by Alice Feeney. It is called Beautiful Ugly. Really hard to rate this one because I enjoyed the beginning of it so much, and then the ending, it just kind of deteriorated for me. I guess to be fair, I'll put it in 3 to 4, but if anyone, did pick it up and read it after I reviewed it or anything like that, I'd love to know what you think, because I just felt like the book was almost divided right in half. I was enjoying it until right about the halfway point, and then it just, I don't know, it started to make little to no sense to me, and the ending was very anticlimactic for me. So yeah, we'll put it there just to be fair. January of 2025 now, Isaac's Song. This was a book that I enjoyed very much. I ended up reading the companion book to it as well, which is called Don't Cry for Me. I enjoyed this very much. I know other people that have enjoyed this book as well. This goes solidly in the 4 to 5s. Good Dirt from February of 2025. This is by Charmaine Wilkerson. I gave this book a 5. It was interesting because this came up as the book of the month, and just the previous month I had read her debut novel, which was Black Cake. So, they made a great team together, and I was really glad that, I read the both of them. So this one I'm going to put solidly in the 4 to 5s. March of 2025, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I really enjoyed this. This was a different kind of book for me. A little bit mystery, a little bit thriller. It kind of a little futuristic, set in this really interesting setting in Antarctica. Just a really good book. Solidly in the 4 to 5 category. I don't really know anybody else that's picked this up and read it, but if you come across it anywhere, you might want to give it a read. It is definitely a good one. If you like thrillers, Next, in April of 2025, I just reviewed this one not long ago. Alka Joshi, 6 Days in Bombay, has a beautiful cover. I love the colors. I love that green with gold. It just looks really awesome. But unfortunately, this is going to have to go into the no-go pile. There was just an oomph that it needed that it just did not have. So, yeah. Most recently now, May of 2025, I picked up this, Alex North. The Man Made of Smoke was the first Alex North book I ever read. It will definitely not be the last. This is an amazing thriller. I absolutely gave it a 5 when I reviewed it. People who like thrillers will absolutely love this. And it's into the 4 to 5s for sure. So now let's take into consideration books that I ordered as substitutes for the actual choice. Because I kind of feel like you have a choice of 5 books or 6 books. If none of them really strike you right, they'll give you a choice of at least another, 8, 10, 12. It's actually sometimes quite a few in the other ones you can choose that would be a substitute. So what difference does it make if it was the actual book of the month or a book of the month from a few months ago that, was a member pick or something like that? But let's see how they come out on our rating scale. First is Killers of the Flower Moon, the Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI. This is by David Gran. This is an excellent book. It's a nonfiction book, the only nonfiction book I believe that I ever received from Book of the Month. I really do wish they would have more to choose from on nonfiction. One of their slogans is fiction forward. So, they really have more on the fiction side. But this was just a really good read. I know other people that read it and really enjoyed it as well. So 4 to 5. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. This was the book of the month for July 2021, but I was able to purchase it as a substitution. And I fell in love with S.A. Cosby because of this book. So it's going in the 4 to 5s. First Lie Wins. This was a book of the month for January 2024. I bought it as a substitution. I'm going to put it in the 3 to 4 category. It was a decent thriller, but same with this, A Flicker in the Dark, Stacey Willingham. This was actually a Book of the Year finalist from 2022, and I was able to get this as a substitution. I'm going to put this in the 3 to 4s. This was another one that I was really enjoying for a while, and then as the ending came along, it just kind of fell a little bit flat. But a decent story. I mean, it was, it would keep your attention for a while. It's a thriller. So that takes care of Book of the Month choices and those that I asked for as a substitution. So 3 were bombs, I guess you could say, and that's these 3 here that you can see, Again and Again, Middle Tide, and 6 Days in Bombay. So yeah, 3, no go. Next, in the 3 to 4 category, we have 5 books. And those are these here. We have Interesting Facts About Space, House of Glass, Beautiful Ugly, First Lie Wins, and A Flicker in the Dark. Yeah, those are definitely 3 to 4s. Finally, we have the last category, the highest rated. And that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and my little piece of paper, 9. That one has 9 books in it. So I can't hold up 9 books at once. So let's do like 3 at a time. We have Razorblade Tears. We have Killers of the Flower Moon, Man Made of Smoke. Wild Dark Shore, Good Dirt, Isaac Song. Lion Women of Tehran, No One Can Know, and don't forget The Women by Kristen Hanna. So that's 9. Wow. Okay. Let me tally up some of these numbers and I'll get right back to you. All right. So I'm coming up with approximately 50% of the books went into the 4 to 5 category. 30% went into the 3 to 4 category, and about 20, little less than 20% really went into the category where, yeah, I wouldn't read them again. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend them to other people either. So that's pretty good, really. I liked or loved 80% of the books that I got in a year and a half. And of those, the bigger group are the ones that I loved. So that was actually pretty good. I think that sounds like a pretty good ratio there. But let me talk about one more thing. Now, I have here 2 books that I received from Book of the Month for free. I think because I had just ordered up to the right amount that all of a sudden they gave me a free choice. One that I made was this one. It looks like it was just an add-on book for them. There's no month and date back here that it was actually a designated book of the month. But that is Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. So I got that for free. And then also at the beginning of this year, because I had ordered all through 2024, I was eligible to ask for free for one of the Book of the Year finalists. And I asked for this one, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. And I got this really nice edition of it that, you know, has a little badge on the back that says it's the winner, because it was, of the Book of the Year. And then it's got the sprayed edges as well. So kind of nice. So those were free. And then this month, or actually last month, the month of May, I also did get an add-on, and it was this one here, Frederick Bachman, My Friends. What an excellent add-on. You know, that's fantastic. So I have one more thing to show you before we end this video. Hold on just one moment. Raina. There we go. I also have this stack of books. So what is this all about? Well, these are Book of the Month editions that I purchased at library sales, with it all probably within this past year or so. So let's take a look at those just to give an idea of what kind of books have recently been books of the month, whether I've read them or not. So Count My Lies. This was a recent one. It was from March of 2025. And I was really glad that I didn't order this as my book of the month. Instead, I ordered Wild Dark Shores. And I really made the right choice, because that was kind of a no-go there. Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. Excellent. Like I say, it's a companion book to Isaac's Song. Truly enjoyed it. This was from February of 2022. The Storm We Made by Vanessa Chan. This is from December of 23. And this is a book that I actually almost ordered as my book of the month, because it sounded pretty good. I can't remember everything about it, and I have not read it. But anyway, yeah, I got that one kind of waiting for me. The Wilder Women. I don't know anything about this. I just kind of took a chance on it. It's from November of 2022. Again, for $1 or $2 in a library sale. I wasn't going to say no to it. I was really glad to see that Karen Slaughter, deals with Book of the Month, and this was the Book of the Month for August of 2022. I hope they come up with one of hers again. I did not read this one. It's called Girl Forgotten, but I have read some of her books, and they're generally very, very good. So, kind of look forward to that one. You see all the books that I need to read. Why am I not reading? No, instead of talking about them. But that's okay too, because it's fun, isn't it? Okay, so then I also have Anxious People by Frederick Bachman in the Book of the Month edition. This was from September of 2020. So, another one. I mean, I know I'm going to like Frederick Bachman. I should at least like it, if not love it. Again, another author I was really glad to see, William Kent Kruger, This Tender Land. This is from September of 2019. I've never read this book, but I have read William Kent Kruger before. I have a couple of his floating around here. He's very, very good. So I look forward to that. Don't know anything about this one. Jane Harper, The Survivors, from January of 2021. I read the jacket cover and it interested me, so there you go. This was a book of the month not too long ago. No, actually, it was a while ago, May of 2022. I thought I had seen it in a little more recent, maybe it was a choice one time, alternate choice or something. And that's Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. This looked really, really interesting. I will definitely get to that one. And then finally, this one's, I think, a little bit old. No, March of 2022. That's, kind of the average that I'm getting there. This is The Cartographers, which are people who make maps. I had to double check that before I left the library sale with this because I was like, what am I really buying here? Peng Shepherd is the author. So, yeah. So those are all in great shape. And, I look forward to reading them. And they're also, fairly recent. And again, some authors that I didn't know were part of Book of the Month that I'm really glad to see in there because I'd love to see one of their newer books pop up. So there we go. If you like my content, please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have you read any of these books and what did you think of them? Are you part of Book of the Month and what do you think of it? Have you ever maybe done something like this on your own where you've kind of taken a look at your shelf and tried to decide, well, how many of these were really, really good? How many were kind of okay? How many, they were kind of bummers? But yeah, what do you think that do you think you're getting, your money's worth, or you think you're getting good selections out of Book of the Month? Let me know what you think. So as always, I thank you for watching. I am going to send one more taco Raina's way, which she will be glad to see, I'm sure. Oh, it's actually a half of one, so that's perfect because I kind of break them up anyway. We're not really telling her that. Thanks, Raina, for being so good during this video, by the way. And have a great day. Bye now.